It's purple. Oh, hi! Welcome to a calculus tutorial by Physics Man Education. I'm Physics Man, and today we're going to be going through a specific example on how to find the roots of a quadratic function by using factoring. So, here's the situation. This stick figure here is Physics Man, and he's trapped on this very slippery stunt ramp. The kind you might see skateboard stunts or bicycle stunts done on. And he's perpetually sliding back and forth helplessly. Here's Ray the Photon laughing at Physics Man. Ha 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 ha. If we take Ray the Photon's position to be the origin, then the ramp, or the shape of the ramp, can be described by the equation y is equal to 6x squared minus x minus 12. Here we can take x to be the lateral position and y to be the vertical position. So y is literally the elevation of the ramp. And we want to know two things here, or we want to find in particular 3 points. We want to find the y-intercept, in other words the elevation of Physics Man when he's directly underneath Ray the Photon, and we want to find the x-intercepts when Physics Man is at ground level. The y-intercept will be relatively easy. So to find the y-intercept, we require x equals 0. And setting 0 into this equation will give us y is equal to 6 times 0 squared minus 0 minus 12. These two terms will be 0, and y simply equals minus 12. Therefore, the y-intercept will be described by the points x equals 0, y equals minus 12. Now, in order to find the x-intercept, we're going to do this by factoring. So, for the x-intercepts, you may remember that earlier we wanted to set I plus j is I times j is going to equal to a times c. Here we have a times c. It's going to equal to 6 times negative 12, which is going to equal to negative 72. This will equal to I times j. Now we see that b is going to be negative 1, which will have to equal to I plus j. Now you could solve this system of equations. I'd say that if you have 8 times 9, that'll give you 72. One of them will have to be negative. Since b is negative 1 and I plus j therefore equals negative 1, then the 9, the one that has magnitude 9, should be the one that has a negative number. So therefore I'm going to say I is equal to 8, j is equal to negative 9. I could have chosen it the other way around. I could have made I is equal to negative 9 and j is equal to 8. It's kind of arbitrary which variable I choose to be which solution. But now that I have this, I'm going to have to rewrite our equation, because remember that in order to have an x-intercept we require that y equals 0 is going to equal to 6x squared. Now instead of writing minus x, I'm going to write plus 8x minus 9x, and then I'm going to keep my minus 12. It's very important to notice here that when I have 8x minus 9x, that will be equivalent to just saying minus x there. So I'm going to take these two terms, and I'm going to factor out the ax, or the 6x, from that. So 6x squared divided by 6x will leave me with just x. And when I take 8x and divide it by 6x, well, the x's will cancel, but I'm going to be left with 8 over 6. Both are divisible by 2, so that will leave me with 4 over 3. And when I take these two terms, well, first of all, I'm going to factor out a negative 9. If I have, I'm factoring out the negative 9, so when I divide negative 12 by negative 9, I'm going to wind up with a positive number overall. The fraction will be 12 over 9. Both of those are divisible by 3, so when I divide 12 by 3, I have 4. When I divide 9 by 3, I have 3, so I'm going to have plus 4 over 3. Now, here's the cool part. I promised in the last tutorial that when I have I over A will be the same as C over J, and that's exactly what we find here. These two fractions are both the same, which means that I have a multiple in both these terms that can be factored out. And that's what I'm going to do. So when I factor out this term from, or this multiple from both terms, I wind up with 6x minus 9 times x plus 4 over 3. Now this will give us two solutions because this whole thing will still equal to 0. And this can equal to 0 if this term equals 0, then whatever this term is will be multiplied by 0 and the whole thing is 0. Or this term can equal 0, and whatever this term is will be multiplied by 0 and the whole thing will be 0. So the first solution will come from 6x minus 9 equals 0. And we'll solve this for x. So we can say 6x is equal to 9. X is equal to 9 over 6. Both of those are divisible by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So x equals 3 halves. X equals 3 halves is 1 root. Let's find the other root. If x plus 4 over 3 equals 0, then x is equal to negative 4 over 3, and that's our second solution. Now if we compare these two x values to the 2 points here, we see that this one must be the positive solution, x equals 3 halves, and this one must be the negative solution, x equals negative 4 thirds. And there you have it. We found the y-intercept, and we found the two x-intercepts. And that concludes our tutorial. This has been produced by Physics Man Education. I'm Physics Man. I hope you found this tutorial helpful in your academic studies. And, as always, I'll see you in the future.